asked the question here, what loan to value percentage can you refinance to? I think we all know about the 75%, but maybe elaborate on what else can be done out there. What creativity can we get involved in?
Absolutely. So on buy-to-lets, so not just buy-to-lets, sorry, we're talking about investment properties, buy-to-lets, HMOs, etc. You can go typically with lenders now up to 80 or even 85% loan to value. So little as 15% deposit putting in on a purchase or on a refinance. If, for example, you've had a property and maybe it's struggled in terms of increasing in value, or it may be that you've taken a product in the past and added those fees to that loan, which has pushed that loan to value up. It may be that you took a 75% loan to value property, product at the time, and you've added the fees on and it's pushed you up. So they are out there and they are available, which is great. Now, separate to that, just to mention, is that if you did take those products, there are a lot of lenders that with those products, they're going to have higher interest rates and higher fees typically. So as you can imagine, lower the deposit or lower the equity in the property. That's the situation with those properties. However, they can be really great options for people who are either low on funds to put down as a deposit, or it might be that you've got a property that you're about to do work to, so you want to keep some of those funds to one side and you're not going to be sort of remaining on that. Because the other side to this is if you have got a portfolio or if you're planning to grow a portfolio, one part of the criteria that lenders tend to look at when they're assessing a mortgage application is the background portfolio and what overall loan to value that is at. Now, a lot of those lenders have a limit of 75%. So you can see that if you're buying properties with a 15 or 20% deposit, it's going to slowly start catching you up if you then go to buy a property or remortgage property and the background portfolio is sat at that higher loan to value. So it's just something to consider. And again, if you're speaking to your broker, they should be explaining all that and going through those options. They are out there. And I think the one thing we can take from that is as well is that people might feel that there's a bit of uncertainty in the market in terms of rates changing. And yes, we've talked about them coming down. But one of the other things that we do see if there's sort of a bit of uncertainty, especially from a lender's point of view, is they would certainly start to pull those types of products. 75% would be there, but they're not going to be offering those with the lower deposits of 15 and 20%. So hopefully, again, that gives you confidence that the lenders still think it's time to be buying property and investing.
Yeah, great, Sophie. And if you want to, we've got portfolio landlords on here today with 4 or more properties on there, and you want to know, is my portfolio healthy? And the definition of healthy is something that we link back to lenders' criteria, exactly what Sophie's saying. Then send us your portfolio through, and we'll give you some feedback on it. We'll do the stats. We'll give you some metrics back as to what we define and ultimately what lenders define as a healthy portfolio. So we'll do that free of charge for you guys that are on here today.